What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. How y'all doing out there today? I hope you're doing good. Uh, yeah, this story right here is a very tragic story. You know, it just seems like nowadays, our children are being murdered, molested, raped. I mean, beaten to death by other schoolmates, jumped. It's just ridiculous. But in this case right here, this ugly ass woman that y'all see before you on this screen happened to starve a 10-year old her 10-year-old stepdaughter to death. And words can't express just how I feel about this particular story. And then it said too, the father, he played a part in this. Now remember, I said this is the stepdaughter to this ugly ass woman, but the father of the daughter, the child, he played a part in this. I can't ask at this point what the world is coming to, because I can see what it has came to. It's just downright evil. But at least in this particular story, this ugly bitch right here gets the death penalty, and I'm telling you, I do not feel the least bit sympathy for her ass whatsoever. Let's get into the story. It says here, a Georgia woman has been sentenced to death for starving her 10-year-old stepdaughter. And like I said, this is her right here. And it says Tiffany Moss was sentenced to death Tuesday after a jury found her guilty Monday of torturing and starving her 10-year-old stepdaughter to death. I don't know what could make a person want to torture and starve a child. That's just downright is wrong on so many points. As a matter of fact, words can't express just how bad that really is. A Georgia stepmother is set to become the state's only female death row inmate after she was convicted this week of starving her 10-year-old stepdaughter to death. Tiffany Moss was convicted Monday in the 2013 death of her stepdaughter. And Manny Moss, Gwinnett County District Attorney Daniel Porter told CNN. A jury found Moss guilty of torturing Imani, starving her to death, and then, with the help of her husband, remember I said that guy, he's the father of the child, a man burned the child's body in a trash can, according to CNN affiliate WSB. Now, again, like I said, what this ugly bitch did was a heinous. So did the father. He should get the death penalty too. See? But as we get further in the story, I believe this particular one's gonna show exactly how he got out of it. At the time of her death, Imani weighed just 32 pounds, the average weight of a toddler, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Moss, 36, showed no reaction when the death sentence was handed down Tuesday, local media inside the courtroom reported. She'll be transferred to state custody within the next 20 days, Porter said. Imam Moss is currently serving life in prison for the death of his daughter, according to WSB. Tiffany Moss acted as her own attorney in the case, but offered no defense, called no witnesses, and gave no opening nor closing statements, the station reported. She don't know law. She shouldn't have. Well, like I said, I'm glad that she hung herself, at least, But dude, the father, he should get the death penalty too. He should. In my opinion, he's as guilty, even more so, than her. That was your child directly. Even if it was somebody else's child, your ass should still get. You do something like that, you should get the death penalty. Moss would be just the third woman executed in the state's history. Lori Bennett, a spokeswoman for the Georgia Department of Correction, told CNN. The first was Lena Baker, an African American maid who in 1944 was sentenced to death by an all-white, all-male jury for death of a man she said held her against her will, threatened her life, and appeared poised to hit her with a metal bar. Well, now that case was fucking racist. You know, did y'all hear all white, all male jury? A white man, okay, held her against her will and threatened to hit her with a bar. Well, we know what that was. Hell, you know what that was. She shouldn't have got no death penalty. See, Georgia's parole board posthumously pardoned Baker 60 years later after her execution, finding that it was a grievous error to deny her clemency. You motherfuckers I ain't lying. After them demons eat y'all ass up, y'all souls gonna burn in hell. I am not lying. You'll see. The second was Kelly Gestiner, who was executed in 2015 for conspiring with her boyfriend to have her husband killed in 1997. She should have got it. Once transferred, Moss will be the only woman on death row in Georgia, according to Bennett. Yeah, and if you do, when you do get ready, don't take years to do it. Get her ass on out of the way and make sure you go back and get the father, her husband. Now, the way he got out of that was he turned state's evidence on this woman right here. Okay, so they gave him a lighter sentence, which is life. If you want to call being locked up the rest of your life and, behind bars, life itself, well then whatever. But as far as I'm concerned, yeah, he needs to be, get the lethal injection just like this woman right here. It's awful. There's so many stories that I see, like I said, if our children ain't being raped or jumped by other class members or beaten, whatever, it's heinous things like this. And it hurts me to see our own so-called people doing shit like what white reprobates do. You understand what I mean? I know evil dwells in everybody, but the thing is this, I still hate to see when it's one of our own. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this, and like, comment, share, subscribe, and this is James, and I'm out.